So my name is Monique Zurita, and I work for Teach for America. And Teach for America is a national nonprofit, and our mission is to eliminate educational inequity. We recruit what we think are tomorrow's future leaders, and we ask them to come and teach into the classroom in urban and rural classrooms. And the idea is they'll teach for 2 years, and they will go on to be lifelong advocates for education. Our creative team had photos on a shared server, and in order to be able to find a certain picture, you kind of had to remember what photo shoot we had done. That made things much more difficult also when we grew and we had to share photos across the organization, because then if that person wasn't there, what would you have to do? You would have to burn DVDs or send hard drives when we needed to share. But the biggest frustration was honestly just not being able to find photos, because there was no way to search for photos. So we had thousands of photos that were just being lost, really. You know, when I would produce a photo shoot, I would know the name of the core member. That's what we call our teachers. I'd know what he or she taught, and I would have it in my notes, but they weren't combined at all with the images. I was literally the only person in the organization that knew all this information. And I knew it was so important. I didn't know what a dam was when I started looking this up. You know, I'm not the most technologically savvy person. I knew our needs. Our needs were very clear. So once I realized this magical term of metadata, I was very excited, and I could do a metadata for Smile. We started out with all of a sudden 50,000 images that had metadata. So I was able to, do a quick search. I'm looking for a teacher who teaches high school science in a rural region, and I was able to do that search, and so it was amazing. So the dam enables us to really get brand approved, beautiful imagery to anyone that we're working with, but in a controlled manner. So I know exactly what photos they're using. We're working with external designers much more. So being able to give them specific access, it enables us to feel we're empowering our regions, but also being brand stewards. I think your customer service was really great. I needed to have my hand held because this was a new field for me, and I felt like I really got that. I remember in the end I was between you and another organization, and customer service is a part of what you do. It wasn't a new thing. And the other organization, they were going to assign someone to me, but because I advocated, because I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I need someone to help me figure out what my structure is going to be like, because I don't want to launch something that's going to then not be successful. I didn't like that they had to create that position, because I thought down the road, if I have some problems, I want the dam provider that's going to have this customer solutions approach. Well, we are a nonprofit. And we are very much run very fiscally responsibly, and we have to be, and I want to be a part of that. I really had to show that it was justified and that it was actually going to make us more efficient, more effective, and make our work better. I interviewed the designers to find out, well, how much time do you spend looking for images? And what % of that time do you actually find an image that you need? 30% of the time they didn't find the image. So they spent, I don't know how many hours looking for something, and then they didn't find it. We're spending, $4,000 on a photo shoot, and if you're not leveraging and maximizing those photos, then you're sort of wasting your money. Where I think DAM has been even more than what I thought was, it's really enabled us to take a lot more photos. We used to do one photo shoot a year. Now we do 7 or so a year, and it's not as daunting, we're going to get those photos and how are we going to get them out to folks. People are using them right away. So I think it's enabled us to be much more nimble. When we started thinking about the structure, I interviewed all of our designers. I said, well, what's useful for you? How do you search for images? And then we started thinking, well, what's practical? Because some of the information that they gave me would require hours upon hours upon hours of me inputting information that that I don't have that time. So we came up with a nice happy medium, like what's the most important thing for you to look for and what's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. The interviewing of the users served two purposes. One, it serves to hone in on what the structure should be like, and it also serves to invest them. They feel a certain, ownership of the system because they helped design it in a sense. What the marketing team were charged with doing for Teach for America is really elevate the stories of our core members and our alumni. Images tells everything. It really makes that emotional connection. So if you look at Teach for America branding, images are front and center. It's critical to what we do, and it's critical to inspiring more college graduates to join Teach for America. And to inspire our core members to stay to stay committed, to stay at it, to inspire our alumni. This keeps them inspired. A lot of what we do, we have an alumni magazine. It's very photocentric, and so the DAM helps us get those images out to everyone. I think it's incredibly important to what we do.